On June 4th, 2021, Disney's California Adventure finally opened the long-awaited Marvel-themed land, Avengers Campus. It was announced years earlier and had a ton of hype going into it, especially as Marvel has continued to do well both in theaters and at home on Disney+. But with long lines to get into the land, virtual queues that don't guarantee a ride on the new Spider-Man attraction, and the land being smaller than the recently opened Galaxy's Edge, many have already written Avengers Campus off as something they'll pass on. But I have to disagree. My name's Josh Taylor, this is Modern Mouse, and today I want to talk about why I think that the Avengers Campus is one of the best lands that Disney and all of its parks has ever created. Ever since Universal Studios opened their first area based solely on Harry Potter, theme park fans continue to talk about immersion and immersive experiences. The Wizarding World puts you in the story, and you get to play a role as a wizard going to Hogwarts. Disney's added several new lands and different themes since the opening of the Wizarding World at Universal Orlando. They tried both Cars Land and Pandora. Both lands would put you in the settings of their movies, Cars and Avatar. But something still didn't click with the immersion of those lands. Unlike the Wizarding World, Cars Land or Pandora don't give you the opportunity to play a role in the story. Disney's big decision was to then create a land dedicated completely to Star Wars, and to make you a citizen on an alien planet. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is an impressive land. It's grand in size, but also does transport guests to a different place and time. Here you can meet many of the characters from the films, steer the Millennium Falcon, or fight against the First Order. For the most part, it's been as close as Disney's gotten to putting guests into the Wizarding World experience. But I think Avengers Campus can do it even better. Let me explain. What makes the Wizarding World immersive is a handful of things. Architecture is one part of that, but the architecture just around Cars Land doesn't really do the trick. You can stand on a set, but not necessarily be a part of the story, which is Cars Land's downfall. A major part of that experience isn't just stepping onto a set, but being able to shop as those characters would or eat as those characters would. Galaxy's Edge does have this. It's how they sell lightsabers and droids or cocktails and snacks. They integrate those experiences into the world that you're in. The last ingredient is interactions, and that's something you honestly can't forget to add. The Wizarding World wouldn't be the same if the people working the shops weren't in full wizard robes, or you didn't walk by and see the choir performing. The same for Galaxy's Edge. The land truly needs characters to meet and interact with for it to truly come alive. That's where Avengers Campus succeeds the most. Avengers Campus takes up a fairly small portion of the Disney California Adventure Park. It sits in the former Bugs Land, a land that was built for small children with a small footprint. Because of its lacking size, it makes up for it in a large amount of things constantly happening. The number one complaint that I've heard about Avengers Campus is its lack of rides. And that's sort of true. The land has two rides, one that opened back in 2017 and has been integrated into the land, and one new attraction where you have to hope to get a boarding pass through the virtual queue. That's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother video. I'll get into virtual queues maybe sometime, but I have my opinions. But despite the land having two rides and one restaurant, it also boasts a wide range of different shows with characters, as well as meet and greet interactions. Something that Knott's Berry Farm down the street understands is that it doesn't have to be an expensive venture to be a good immersive experience. For years, Knott's has been home to Ghost Town Alive. For those that are not familiar with Knott's, think of Frontierland, but with a few dozen actors bringing the town to life and tasking you with things to do. The tasks that are handed out and the conversations that can be had there are what makes Ghost Town Alive so special. And you can easily spend most of your day just doing that at Knott's Berry Farm. I think the same argument can be made for Avengers Campus. As of the land's opening, there's a Spider-Man show at the Web Building, an Avengers show by the Quinjet, a whole area devoted to Doctor Strange and his interactive show, the Dora Milaje show that happens on the streets of the campus, and several characters walking around to say hi and take pictures with. Sure, a lot of people are going to come for the 2 rides that are within Avengers Campus, but I think that these shows and other Streetmosphere ideas are what's going to keep people at Avengers Campus. This campus is supposed to feel like a recruitment center, a place where not only can you meet your heroes, but you can learn to become one, and it does feel like that. We've also seen the campus mimic what's happened within the world of Marvel films and TV shows. New characters are being added, and costumes are changing on a near weekly basis, depending on what's happening with the things that we watch. That allows you to never leave the immersion. You don't see a character on a TV show in one costume and then see them in the park a different way. The theme park and Marvel Cinematic Universe are one in the same. I do have to say though, this land isn't completely immersive. Yes, they've added several toys and other items to the Web Slingers store that ties in with the Web Slingers Spider-Man ride, but overall the merchandise doesn't move that immersive idea forward. I hope that in time that changes and more things can be purchased to make us all feel more like the heroes. This small land has shown that it has potential to grow. A 3rd ride based around the Avengers team visiting Wakanda is planned, but what this land really can do is adapt as it goes. New Marvel heroes can enter the land, new shows can be created, new experiences can keep guests coming back. All of these things can be done quickly and cheaply, allowing for those experiences to be added or expanded upon in no time at all. Yes, the Avengers Campus doesn't have the major architecture that makes your jaw drop like Galaxy's Edge, but that's not what the campus was ever meant to be. It's a place to meet your heroes and to join them. It's a place to witness Spider-Man swinging to incredible heights, to see strong female warriors getting ready for battle. It's a place to be inspired to be a hero yourself. I think when most people think about Disneyland or any of the other Disney theme parks around the world, they think about what rides they'd like to go on. The problem with that mindset is that there's so much more to these parks. The reason that Disney themselves have always used the term attraction rather than rides is because they believe, just like I do, there's so much more than just rides to experience, whether it's a show or different characters to meet. And there's a belief that those shows or characters can provide just as much entertainment, if not more, than the rides themselves. I think we as a community need to think about that more as well. To not just run from one ride to the next, but to be immersed into a space. And there are plenty of things to do within that space, whether it is jumping onto a ride vehicle, or having lunch with your family, or getting to meet or become one of Earth's mightiest heroes. I haven't made a video about a theme park or theme park attraction or anything like that in a long time. So for those of you who watched, thank you so much. If you want more of this kind of theme park content, comment down below what you'd like me to talk about. I would love to deep dive into different attractions or lands and talk about some of the history of some of these places. So please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Also, if you want to support this channel, you can. There's links down below to my Patreon page as well as to the merch shop. You can get some sweet shirts or stickers. You can also get some extra video and audio content over on Patreon, whichever you prefer. Helping me out helps keep this on air running, keeping me going, putting out multiple videos a week, or hopefully multiple videos a week. That being said, thank you for watching, my friends, and as always, keep moving forward.